I'm Kieran O'Mahony with the Southern Star. We were in Kinsale recently to talk to people about general election 2016. Here's what people had to say. What do you think are the main issues that will affect Kinsale now for the forthcoming general election?
I think the main issues really in the town, as a business owner as well, is seeking improvements in the road and infrastructure after the bad storms, and whether we've had improvement in the roads for tourism. I suppose being in Kinsale, tourism is the main industry in the area, so I suppose lining it to Cork Airport, more flights in and out of Cork Airport. And I suppose the obvious one at the moment is the Cork-Boston route, which I think for tourism, if that's opened up and up and running, will make a huge benefit to tourism from a viewpoint of American tourists and American businessmen.
Certainly say that the health services are the big issue at the moment in Cork, with the waiting lists and people on trolleys, and definitely is a huge one. Obviously the flooding in the towns like Bandon that have been affected as well is big. So
biggest issue in Kinsale has been a long-standing issue in that traffic management and parking and what have you. We have a lovely new super value just down the road here from the White House, and it's great because it takes massive pressure off the centre of town. But what it does then is it brings a lot of traffic up the Glen, which would run kind of parallel from the White House to the new super value. And the road probably isn't wide enough to take 2 lanes of traffic when there's parking on both sides. There's double yellow lines down most one side, but that's kind of they're kind of the main issues in Kinsale when it comes to Kinsale is traffic management, parking. I mean, there were traffic plans including the development plan and all that. A lot of it has been implicated, a lot of it hasn't. I mean, there's an awful lot to be said when the recession came. A lot of projects were shelved in Kinsale, and I think that's massively impacted the town.
What do you think, or who do you think will make up the next government?
The next government, well, from a person who runs his own business and being through the last 7 or 8 years of difficulty of all walks of life and in business, it's a hard one to predict, but I think a lot of us would like stability. It's all great getting tax cuts, that's great, and playing to the crowds, but generally I think most people in business who run their own small business would want a steady person at the helm. But not to give away budgets or promising. We have to be prudent in what we do and plan for the long term, not the short term.
And have you decided how you'll vote?
I haven't yet. No, I haven't decided yet. And I've spoken to many people on this, and I think at this stage it's just with numerous things. I think people haven't made up their minds yet on who to vote or what candidates to vote or who they think will be the next Taoiseach. It's a very different one to call.
Great. All right, thanks. What do you think will make up, or who will make up the next government?
I think it will be a stalemate, that Labour won't get enough seats to have the existing government be re-elected. I think that they'll fall short, and I think we still can rule out the possibility of Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. So despite what's being said in the media. So.
And then how do you feel yourself? Have you decided which way you'll vote? Or?
I will be voting Fianna Fáil.
Fianna Fáil, okay.
Yeah.
And have you always been a Fianna Fáil voter?
Always Fianna Fáil supporter,
yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Normally I take a stab at it, but I genuinely, this is the first year of an election that I have absolutely no clue. Even the last election, I knew Fianna Fáil were struggling. Fine Gael looked very strong. Labour were stronger than they ever. I actually thought Labour were going to fare better in the last election than they did, even taking into consideration how well they did. God, I mean, I genuinely couldn't even begin to guess. I think Labour are struggling. I still think they'll do well. I mean, Michael McCarthy down these parts has done an awful lot of hard work. I think Fianna Fáil running one candidate was probably a good idea because, the idea there is that the entire party will row in behind her. And in fairness to Margaret, she's been very good to Kinsale. Fine Gael have always been strong down these parts. I think by and large people are kind of happy with them down here, so that'll make a very interesting that'll make for some very interesting developments. See how they'll do.